Hey tribe, so I'm here and I'm going to do a demo for you really quick on this upside down drawing. Most people who attempt this for the first time, it's really out of their comfort zone, and so they have sometimes a lot of trepidation. The first thing they think is, dear God, there's no way in heaven or hell that I can draw this. But listen, all I'm asking you to do is trust me. Trust me. I've been teaching art for 13 years, and I have a lot of experience with people who really want to draw and they really want to make art, and they don't know how to shift to that right brain. This is a teaching theory that was developed by a woman named Betty Edwards, and she wrote a book called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. My theory is that I can teach anybody to draw. I don't care if you think you can draw a stick figure or not. I can teach you to draw well if I can make you, help you make the shift from left brain to right brain. Because the left logical brain is the part that when you see something, you ever seen something and you want to draw it and it's in your mind and you know exactly what you want it to look like, but by the time it gets from your head down to your shoulders and in your arm, out your hand and down on the paper, it looks absolutely nothing like you intended for it to look, and you get really frustrated, right? Well, one of the reasons for that is because you have not learned yet how to actually see like an artist sees. When I decode information artistically, I look at a series of things that I've been trained to see, and I'm going to help you start to see that way too, right? So let me reposition the video, and I've got my sketchbook and my drawing pad here, and we'll get to it. Here we go. Okay, so you have two choices to choose from. You can either choose from this piece by Picasso. It was a line drawing of a friend of his called Igor Stravinsky, or you can choose this horse with the knight. Both of them are completely different. This one of the horse is pretty much organic lines, whereas this one is more geometric. I'm just going to be honest with you. If you have some drawing ability already, try the horse. If you don't have very much drawing ability and you're not very confident in your drawing ability, I would recommend you go with this one. So I want to show you, this is one that I've drawn. Of course, I'm going to turn it upside down. Every time I do this with my high school students now, I always draw it with them so they can see just how easy it is. Now, I've been drawing for a long time, and I tell my kids that I have been drawing, I've thrown away and been drawing drawings more than they have been alive. More years I've been drawing than they've been alive. So it takes a little bit of practice. And so on this thing, I want you to be gentle with yourself. I don't want you to judge yourself, because this week is all about letting go, right? So we're just going to kind of get into the flow. As soon as you get set up and you get going, let me find a page here in my sketchbook, and I'll start this drawing, show you how to start this drawing. So I'm going to choose this one, and we're going to turn it upside down. Okay? It's so unbelievably important that you turn this thing upside down, because I'm going to show you what I did the very first time I drew this, which was back in my years in my undergrad and college. I looked at this and I thought, there is no way I'm ever going to be able to draw hands. There is no way I'm ever going to be able to draw a head with features in it. And that really scared me. Okay, so when you turn this upside down, it confuses that left logical side. That left logical side that tells you you have to draw mountains like this. I hope that's right side up. Like this, and then maybe put a little bit of snow on it or whatever. That's not actually how you draw mountains. I'm going to start training you to really see things how they are supposed to be seen. Now, you can either start at the top of this drawing or the bottom of the drawing. Two things. One is, if you don't get the whole figure on the page, it's okay. I'm not asking you to be exact. I'm not asking you to be literal. I'm asking you to look at relationships and pieces. Relationships, shapes, and pieces here. Okay? We're looking at relationships. Think about that. Relationships of lines and shapes to each other. Think about it like a jigsaw puzzle. Okay? We're taking all of this stuff, reading the shapes and the lines and how they relate to each other into a jigsaw puzzle, and we're translating that on a piece of paper. I recommend that my students, when I teach this to high school, I recommend they either start at the bottom or they start at the top. I like for them to start at the top because I think it is easier. Can you see that? Okay, yeah, I'm going to scoot it down just a little bit. I'll make sure that you can see this so that when I start, you can tell. So I'm going to, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to put this over to the left. If you're left-handed, it's easier if you put this over to the right so your hand can draw like this, right? So I'm right-handed, and I'm going to put this over on my left-hand side. So in order to start this thing, either pick one or the other side. I'm going to pick this because it's really easy for me to draw 2 straight lines. Your eraser is your friend, and so is your pencil. I use my pencil to gauge how long these lines are. So I'll gauge how long this line, see this line goes all the way to there. I'm going to gauge how long this line is, and then I'm going to transpose it over here. I'm going to make my mark right here of where I put it. And then I have it go to the tip, right? And then I'll measure it, and I know that right there needs to be the end of that line. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and draw that line. Now I can look and see that it's not straight. It's straight till about here, and then it starts to curve out. So I'll go ahead and draw that line. It's not exact, so I'll go back, and it's all about looking and seeing. It's going to curve out, and then it's going to curve back in. And that might be too big of a little curve. Let's fix that. There we go. That's better. So there's that line. There's this one right here. Now I move to the second one. And you know, you may want to put your pinky finger there and say, oh, that's almost a pinky finger length apart. It's okay to measure at this point. That's what you want to do, because you want to start looking at how these 2 pieces fit together. Look and see how long this one is. Well, it's about that long. So again, I'm going to draw that. All right. Then I can start seeing, well, look at this shape and how it interacts. It looks kind of like a piece of a grand piano, almost like a kidney bean shape. You can draw that, or you can go ahead over to this other line, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to draw it at the angle. Now, another thing is you can take, if you're not sure of the angle, take your pencil, put it at the angle, bring it right over here, and ta-da, I can automatically see what angle that line's supposed to be at. And then I can go to the next line, which is a little further up, but it's not as long. A little further up. Not as long. Then we got this little deal here, right? And then it goes back down. And now look at this line. This line, measure, it's going to be about the same length as this one. You come over, well, it's a little lower, so let's go down a little lower and we'll see, okay, about right there. Again, if you're not sure of that angle, take that pencil and da-da, there's the angle for you, except for this is going to kind of curve down and it's going to go down a little more. You see that? Then I'll go to this next line. I hope that you can see what I'm drawing. And go to this next line, down. And then there's another line over here that goes down this way. Okay. Now I can come up here. Let's fix this a little bit. This is more out. Now I can come up here and I can say, okay, this line is going to come this way. And it's going to come this way, and it's going to kind of curve down. And right where this is, you see where right where this comes up and over, that's where this shape is. This is kind of like a little, I don't know, almost like a flower pot shape. Like that, right? This line comes down here a little bit, and then this comes up and over. And this is almost even on this side. Okay? Again, if you're not sure of the length of that line, measure it. put yourself a dot right there. Then you know, see how this comes in a little bit and it comes in a little bit again. So now you know that you can draw up and it's curved, right? So you're going to draw up and curve. And then come back down, just like that. All right. Then you can start to put everything else in. I have a really good foundation now of how these lines are supposed to look. So I can draw this line. I'll go back up here and I'll draw this one. Again, here's the deal. Be gentle with yourself. The rules are both your drawing that you're looking at, your reference photo, and your drawing that you're actually doing need to be upside down. Second, if you play music, you're going to need to play music that's instrumental, okay? Because language is housed in the left logical side of the brain. So if you're talking while you're doing it, if you're watching TV while you're doing it, if you're trying to surf Facebook while you're doing it, you're not going to get as much out of this experience as you would if you just did it without any kind of distraction and put music in the background. Put your headphones in. If you need some good background music, I'll go ahead and recommend some on the Facebook page. I have a couple of Spotify playlists that I absolutely love, and I'll recommend some music. Some of them, I'll recommend some playlists to you also that are instrumental, but that's not for this exercise. I'll give you some of the music I like, but then I'll do specific for the right brain exercise, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and start, and just give me a few minutes. And we'll start to draw this puppy out here. Something else that you can do is look at the negative space. So what I'm talking about negative space is this piece right here. This piece right here. And now I can tell that this needs to be a little longer. And my eraser is my friend. And also I can already tell that I'm drawing a little bit bigger than this is right here, so I may not be able to fit all this guy on this page, but that's okay. Look at your negative space. Just like negative space would be the space in between all of the things that's the subject. So you see the arm is right here, and here's like this chair, and here's this coat that's coming out. There's this little triangle here. Well, that tells me how much space is supposed to be between this chair and this guy's coat. So I might want to draw this little triangle here, and there it is, a little triangle right there. You see that? That little triangle is it's a little bigger than this one because I'm making everything a little bigger. So then I can go on down and I can draw this shape. There it is. And I can start drawing this shape. And you know, I've told you before, and I'll say it again, that the eraser is your friend. The eraser is your friend. Now, I want to give you a technical point here. When I'm drawing, don't draw from your wrist. Right now, you want to keep your hand and your wrist really very stiff, okay? You're drawing and you're moving from your shoulder. You're not moving like this from your wrist. Keep your wrist really, really, really stiff. And then when you start to do little touching details, you can start moving your wrist. But right for now, just keep that line straight. It's going to help you make a much better, more intentional mark, right? Okay, here I am right here. Let me get my space back. I'm going to go up. This is about halfway. And here's this little curve up here. Okay, then again, I'm going to erase this part right here. Let me see if I can, oh, I can't zoom that in anymore. We're going to erase that part right here because it's understood that this jacket is back behind this shape right here. You see that? That jacket starts and it stops. So we need to erase this mark that we just made so that we know, and it's understood, that we've automatically pushed this shape back into space, and this shape is up on top of it. Okay? I want you to go for it, have at it, and let's see what you can do. Again, be gentle with yourself. This is the first time, probably for most of you, it's the first time you've ever tried anything like this. And just remember, shapes and relationships. I'll do a quick demo for you on this shape here. So if you look at this shape, and I'm just going to draw right on this. If you look at this shape, it's like a funnel shape. And then the hand, this hand is it's like, it goes this way. And then it goes out here, here. And then it goes around. If you draw in that shape before you start drawing in what so-called the shape of the hands is, then you have a container. You have a container that everything's supposed to fit in. So I can go through there and I can really start drawing in where everything is supposed to fit, right? There's that right there. And this needs to be a little more curved. So just go back and refine it. Oh, I get it. This is curved. There we go. That's where that curves in. Okay. This is a shape for the hands. And then your other hand is going to fit in there. It's going to go like this. And it's going to be wider. And it'll go like that. Okay. That's this right here. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on the comments below. I get the notifications immediately. I will come back and I will help you any way I can. So try it and let's see what you can do with it. All right. I love you. And when you get finished, take a picture of it and post it. Don't be ashamed. I think you're going to be really pleasantly surprised at yourself. So go to it. Here we go.